Howdy ho, my freshly plucked kumquats. I hope you guys are doing good today, because I sure am. I just wanted to bring you guys along for a bit, so I could fawn over my favorite horror series, Five Nights at Joe Biden's. I'm just kidding. Of course, today I'm not going to be talking about Mr. President Chocolate Chip Ice Cream. Nah, I'm not going to do Dementia Joe right now. Instead, I'm actually going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, my all-time favorite horror series, in all honesty. Specifically, I brought you guys here so that I could gush my mushy fluids all over you guys about how great the game is, and I meant it. Y'all are currently in the splash zone. My insane weirdness out of the way, back in the day, like, way back in the day, we're talking, like, back in the Slender Man creepypasta days, the best of horror games allowed you to walk around and explore the horror. Which has its upsides, granted, but, like, it also allowed you to flee for your life, which, in a sense, makes it a little less scary. Fnaf is fundamentally different from that. Instead of allowing you to jump dash away when Freddy Fazbear tries to pull a wombo combo on you, the game just makes you sit down in the office on what seems to be a swivel chair maybe, and take it like a good boy. Which, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel that it helps to greatly enhance the already pretty horrific atmosphere, in all honesty. That's just one of the great design choices Scott Cawthon made in this game. Like, I didn't even mention how the sound design is just peak. Like, it full-on amplifies the dread of your current situation. Surrounded by the cast of the Banana Splits movie, they're all coming to kill you. From the sounds of their footsteps to the groaning coming off the animatronics, even to the weird carousel noise that will play randomly from no apparent source. Creating an atmosphere of unbridled terror within the player that I haven't seen a non-FNAF clone even come close to replicating for the player. Though, I could be very wrong on that, I'm not completely familiar with every single FNAF clone, but this was the first. Not only is the sound design, like, just peak, but the visual design is also unparalleled for the atmosphere in which the game is trying to create for the character. From the cluttered and unkempt office space with cobwebs, creating a sense of cramped claustrophobia within the player, to the clearly run-down pizzeria on the cameras, tables and chairs set up for a party which the player is not meant to attend. It creates a sort of environment outside of its normal context, and for the human mind, which is used to our typical normalcy, it is frightful to witness these things within Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Even to the cutesy designs of Freddy and the friendly teddy bear animatronic, Bonnie the lavender bunny, Chica the always hungry chicken, and Foxy the tattered raggedy pirate fox. All cutesy designs that you would expect to see at a discount Chuck E. Cheese equivalent, Additionally, the slight fuzz of static and the dimness on the CCTV cameras further immerse the player within the world of the game, creating a sense of dread even when the robotic killers aren't present within the screen that the player is looking on. Not only did the first FNAF game excel in all of these areas, it also has beyond flying colors in regards to storytelling and mystery. It creates so many of the fundamental pieces of the FNAF story within the first game that the series of events would be nigh incomprehensible, even more so than they already are. From the cryptic messages of the phone guy trying to dissuade us from the clear truth of the situation at hand, and dissuade us from our inherent fear of the unknown, to the posters that scrawl out the bloody and horrific past of this establishment. That 5 children were lured away from it by a guy in a costume into a back room of the facility to never be seen again. That the suits were then said to have started reeking like rotting corpses. It is no mystery to the player as to where those bodies went. Scott Cawthon meant this as subtext, not lore. once again creating a sense of horror and sorrow for those little souls trapped in metallic abominations beyond human comprehension. The thing I appreciate most from those games, though, has to be the cryptic little hints and inklings to something greater going on within the facility. That something so far beyond what the phone guy is talking about is occurring. That this picture-clicking game is not limited like so many other horror games were back in the day to just being scary monsters because scary monsters are spooky, scary things. It somehow managed to humanize the monsters. Despite the intentionally trying to kill the player, I find that oddly beautiful in a way that my words fail to properly convey to all of you. How Scott Cawthon managed to make a animatronic bear a lovable and sympathetic character. The mysteries, though, were something altogether fascinating to keep the fanbase enraptured within the game, until the second Fnaf game would release in a few months, from the weird disabling of the camera within the kitchen for no explained reason, the strange distorted noises on the phone call on night 5, the ever-present question of who did the bite of 87, even to the ghostly appearance of the Golden Freddy animatronic. All these little aspects gave way to questioning and theorizing, creating the twin snake Ouroboros, so to speak, of Matt Pat and Scott Cawthon, that the series was for so long in its existence. Each of those two individuals feeding off the thoughts and inputs of the other, neither one able to fully understand the game because they were reliant in all honesty upon the other for its creation. Though I feel I've gushed over this series far too much for today, and taken up too much of your guys' time, I hope each and every one of you guys has enjoyed the ramblings of a young man expressing his love for his favorite horror game. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell like William Afton kills kids, and remember, Springlock animatronics are just a crummier version of Fallout 4 power armor.